Well, hello, and a very warm welcome back to the TNC podcast. Norwich City, the away day experts, still unbeaten away from home, Chris Reeve.
What a positive narrative to spin from the off, Jack Reeve.
I can spin a narrative if you wish.
I was drinking lots of this.
What is it?
Over the weekend. It is Contrast by Lakens, and this got me through consuming that performance.
Do you want me to give you some of the tasting notes from Contrast?
I would love for you to tell me that. Can you also, after that, tell me the tasting notes of Stoke 1, Norwich 1?
Behind its deep, roasted black appearance is a vibrant burst of hop character. A striking contrast to what you might expect from the first sip.
Ooh.
Brewed with dehusked dark malts.
What?
Dehusked dark malts for a rich, smooth body without the bitterness. The perfect easy drinker to carry you into autumn.
I tell you what, it might be getting me through some deep and dark times after the game on Sunday as well. But anyway.
Lakens, you obviously know there's 20% off everything. Literally everything. They often exclude the mini casks from our discount code because they're so popular, so they don't need to discount them. But they are extending them for this week. So if you want a mini cask, perfect for autumn or getting ready for Christmas, there you go. The link's in the description. Thank you to Lakens.
What better time as well, Jack, to just remind people on Wednesday night, if you're choosing to go to Carrow to back the boys.
It's encore, isn't it?
Lakens is available in the stadium now.
Well, so. I went to the Lion and Castle post-match against Wrexham, completely sold out.
Well,
everywhere.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not, but I'm just saying, be quick.
Yeah.
Stoke 1.
Do we have to? Can we just talk about life? Let's just forget the football.
Shall I kind of stall and say what we might be talking about this podcast?
Come on.
So it's Monday morning, we're filming. We will be discussing, whether you like it or not, the 1-1 draw to Stoke. See, that's a good point away from home, isn't it? They were second in the table. It's a great point.
It is a good point.
Who was man of the match? Was it McCarmer? Fisher, Stacey, some good performances out there. We keep conceding straight after the second half begins. What is going on there? We are prepping for a 2-game week. We have a midweek game against West Brom, and then we've got a game Sunday.
Not sure who it's against.
Who's it? Preston? No, I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll have a look who we're playing on Sunday. And then, of course, a stacked section of questions.
Yes, there's so many rants
which we'll be getting into.
Yes.
How's the mood, first of all? You seem okay.
I am a little bit ill.
Oh.
Yeah, which probably sums up the overall
Have I given you a cold? Because I was sort of sniffling last week and still am sniffling.
Probably.
Okay. You're not holding back tears?
I just feel really really deflated with it all at the moment, Jack. And if it wasn't for my new, definitely NCFC TNC merch tee,
nice, isn't it?
I would not be cracking as many smiles as I am. Look, as you've said from the off, and I think it's worth saying, a point away at Stoke is always a good point.
Don't get rid of your positives too quick.
No. Well, no.
We've got an hour of this.
I'll blow my load early, Jack.
Oh, no. Okay.
Because second in the league.
Yeah.
Looked really good so far this season.
Yeah.
And in the state that Norwich City are in, if you had asked me before the game, would you have a point away at Stoke? I mean, surely most Norwich City fans would have bitten your hand off for that. It just makes it a little bit painful though, because yet again, just like Cov, we've, gone and taken ownership, if you like, even though it was against the run of play. And then to concede in the manner we did straight after the second half, which we are going to speak to, it was disappointing. The stats, Jack, which I've put there for you, I'm pretty sure they had something like 23 shots.
Yeah, so I think that now means against Stoke and Coventry, we've given up 55 shots between the two. Yeah, they bossed possession and more expected goals, way more shots on target, more big chances, nearly double the amount of accurate passes, and I think 12 corners to 1.
And I think what has kind of not then kind of pushed my concern aside, if you like, Jack, from the last concerning game, was that we've made 5 changes this time, albeit partly enforced, partly not. And by the way, rightly so. I was really pleased that Liam Manning made those changes to the starting lineup. Liam Gibbs, Oscar Schwartau, etc. McCarmer, brilliant. Brilliant that he did that. But the fact that we still played in the same way, endured the same amount of shots, is concerning. And as Robin said, the Stoke gaffer after the game, if they just had that quality, and I think it was Paddy Davitt on the pink, and it mentioned that it was something like it was going to be another Cov type performance. If they had that quality, it would have comfortably been Wrexham performance. It would have comfortably been 2 or 3-1 to Stoke as well. But these are if, buts, and maybes, and I don't want to be all doom and gloom on this. It is a valuable point away at Stoke, and I know it's if, buts, and maybes. If we'd got just even a couple of wins at home, maybe even just one win at home, it would have felt so different grinding out a couple of draws away to Cov and Stoke. But with that, that Wrexham game was just so fucking bad. Excuse my French. It makes it tough.
I think there's a few things. I think the word endure is quite a nice way to sum up Norwich this season, both home and away. And I think it was Connor Southwell that said, like, what has been the difference between home and away? Like, why have we picked up all of our points away from home and none at home? And actually, and I think I agree with him, I think it's luck. Like, I don't actually think the performances have been hugely different. I think you look back to like Millwall and Borough.
I think we've defended better away from home. I think it's all luck.
Yeah, but I guess that then comes back to the point of like, how do you deem like defence? Because the fact you've given up 32 shots at Coventry and 23 shots at Stoke.
Yeah, I get that.
But you like Millwall, Borough, quite evenly contested. We were down to 10 against Borough. Wrexham was an absolute horror show. But in terms of like away performances, Coventry saved by Kovacevic, Stoke probably saved by Kovacevic and them hitting the post.
Yeah.
Pompey saved by Kovacevic. Blackburn, I think, was probably our best performance of the season. I think we looked pretty sharp for most of that. So this is concerning, and I think everyone, I think the most kind of people who are looking at this logically are going, it needs time. It needs patience. Obviously, I think it would be foolish to kind of sack Manning after 7 games, 8 games, whatever we've played. Nearly 10 if you include the cup games. But nothing's changing. And how long do you continue that trend? Because this team at the moment are performing like one who are fighting a relegation battle rather than wanting to fight a top 6 battle.
Well, I agree with that, Jack. And even if you're not on the kind of the side of the fence of this is awful, there's no denying the fact that we are entering, if not in, what I would call tricky territory now, right? Big time. Backs against the wall, on the canvas, against the ropes, however you want to say it, because of the home results and that Wrexham game. West Brom on Wednesday is a tough game. And then, of course, Ipswich away. I'll say this early doors, actually. We managed to get Anel Hernandez on the scrimmage. My dear friend Anel, good old boy, on the scrimmage last week. And he was brilliant. He was so good, so punchy, so passionate. As always, go and give it a listen. Genuinely, it was brilliant. One of the things that he kind of reminded me of, and I'd completely forgotten about this, and actually I do think it's worth thinking about. We can all talk about what could, should, or would go wrong. But it's interesting every now and then to think, well, hang on a minute, what could go right here? And he reminded me of when we'd had that first season under Daniel Farke.
Yeah.
Then we had the start of the season that we did in his second season. Yeah. If you remember, we went away to Ipswich thinking, oh God.
Well, and actually...
Hang on, just quickly. You know that meme of from God Rest Her Soul, the Queen's funeral, where the priest goes, oh God. That's how I feel
just quickly right now. To layer in a bit here.
Okay, cool.
Norwich at this stage are actually ahead of where Daniel Farke was in the promotion campaign in 18-19.
Heck, really?
In terms of points, yeah.
Heck, really?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that...
Thanks for adding that in.
I don't think that adds anything.
But anyway, the point is, we went away at Ipswich, didn't we?
Max Holmes' debut.
And yes, and that was we won.
We won.
Yeah, we won that.
I think it was Moritz Leitner, wasn't it?
That's right. Moritz Leitner scores that goal, wheels away to celebrate with the away fans on the tin roof, as always. Epic, brilliant win. And after that, off we went. And it did make me think. I think Anel brings up a really good point there, that actually, as much as we are against the wall now, as much as we're on the ropes, as much as we're on the canvas, heck, I'll say it from the off. We are going to talk about this Ipswich game. Prepare for the worst. Genuinely, I would be very, very surprised if this isn't the time that they beat us. Genuinely, hand on heart. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But Ernell brings up a good point. If you get a draw there, or even somehow you shithouse a horrible, dirty win. Oh my God, that could be it, Jack.
And I think you're right. And it would be remiss of us to not look at it that way as well. I think it was either just before or just after that Ipswich win in Daniel Farke's season. We played Preston midweek, and Pookie scored, and it was like his first time, I think, playing through the middle.
Right.
And he scored a lovely left-footed shot across the goal, and Norwich won. And it was either just after the Ipswich game or just before. And I remember going into, I was watching it at the old Red Line pub in London. I was living in London, and I was with a few Norwich fans. We were like, I don't think this is working under Farke. Like, not seeing enough.
Yeah, I remember.
And then it kind of just, quite quickly, but also like there was a few games where it was like, okay, like Pookie's good. Oh, okay, this Max Aaron's had, okay. And things started to click. Now, that could happen under Manning. I think it's different, and I think it's a different time, but it could happen.
But at this stage, with where we're at, I think it's quite healthy to try to draw parallels to get some perspective. I quite like the 18-19 stat.
Yeah,
that was a good stat. I like that. I love that from you. About time you did some research.
Yeah. I think I stole it off someone.
Perhaps Wednesday night against West Brom could be that Preston game where you build, you build just a touch of momentum going into it. Just one player comes up with a magic moment. Let's just go back to Stoke because we do need to talk about.
I'm trying to get away.
I know, mate. I know. But we do need to highlight a few positives because there were a few positives. The main positive for me, Jovan McCarthy.
Yeah.
And we bigged him up on the podcast last week. Clearly Liam Manning is watching. Hello, Liam. Sort it out. And I thought Jovan was brilliant. And it just right place. Like, don't get me wrong. The finish was
stunner.
Pretty funny, wasn't it? But look,
tried his best to miss it.
All good strikers, right place, right time. What a brilliant, well-worked goal. And that kind of just shows, Jack, like, hang on, this, albeit there was only one, passage of play like that in the entire game away at Stoke, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Pell Matson, really kind of that anchor point for all good things. Played a lovely little delicious 1-2, and then critically, here's that word, a forward pass brilliantly into the channel for Jack Stacey, and I thought he's going to cut it for Sarge.
Yeah.
He didn't. He then fizzes it across the box. Fucking brilliant, Jack.
Yeah.
Yes, Jack. Fizz it across the box, yeah, low and hard. This is old school classic 101 football stuff, yeah? And Big Jove is in the middle to tap it in. Brilliant. Credit to Liam for starting Jovan. And I know that Norwich fans will be listening, watching, going, well, yeah, of course he had to, because Snats has been rubbish. I get that. But he did, and his faith was repaid. However, I'm going to change this positive into a negative. Liam Manning then takes off McCarthy, which I thought, bloody hell, he's our goal scorer. Even if he is a bit knackered, surely, Jack, right place, right time, he could have that moment again, no? Or maybe I'm looking at this too, black and white.
Yeah, I agree. I think the goal was really nicely worked, and I like the look of Matson early doors. And Paddy Davitt was saying, just basically rehashing.
Like you look like you liked the look of Slimane early doors.
Similar to you with PLA Malou as well.
Here's a ball about
good luck, Mr. Matson. Hopefully the career doesn't turn out like that. That almost frustrated me, that phase of play, because I was like, that's in there. That can be unlocked.
Yeah.
Jack Stacey's cross was his only touch in the opposition box.
Hello, another stat.
Right.
Yeah, mate.
Josh Sargent, who wasn't involved in that phase of play, but had just nearly, I think he was one shy, nearly as many touches in his own box than the opposition box. Right? I'm just nicking all this from the Pinken, but I think it needs to be rehashed.
It's about time you did some research.
Thank you. I'm starting to wonder, like, are these players playing within themselves? Because we should be seeing that more often.
They could do that.
So where is it? Right? And the big issue...
Is it injuries, Jack?
Let's not even start with that, because that is going to get me really angry.
But we need to talk about injuries.
We can.
So let's leave. Let's leave the injury pepper pot over here.
Yeah, okay.
Let's pick up that pepper pot in a minute.
Pick up the pepper pot. That's a mouthful, isn't it? The big issue,
Yeah.
you can, talk about Sarge, you can talk about the defence, talk about whoever. The big issue, Norwich don't keep the ball. We are fucking useless. And that's actually a polite way of putting it, of keeping the football, right? Awful. And that's why it's so tough. That's why Kovacevic is having to play like Buffon every game to pick up a point, right? That's why Harry Darling is seeing so much of the ball. That's why Josh Sargent isn't touching it.
What are you having breakfast this morning?
I've had nothing.
You're on form.
Caffeine.
You're
right?
on form today. Good.
So
Good.
that's the big issue.
The midfield has been missing.
Missing? Have they even...
But they didn't... Okay, let's now turn this into a positive. Home against Wrexham.
What? Hang on.
Wait.
Bookable offence.
I've not even said...
You can't say let's turn it into a positive and then talk about Wrexham.
No, but wait.
Booking.
No, but wait. Let me finish my point. And then I'll get that reversed. We completely folded like a pack of cards against Wrexham at home, right? Who wasn't playing in midfield?
Kenny McLean.
Yes. Who played in midfield against Stoke?
Kenny McLean.
Yes. So, that's a positive. Kenny's back, and now all of a sudden, we have a midfield again.
I'm going to flip it back to a negative.
You rescind my yellow.
No,
rescind my yellow.
The booking stands. How, and I tweeted this, I think, after the podcast, I think I said it on the podcast, how are Norwich in the position where we're still relying on Kenny McLean?
I know.
And this,
I know.
and I'm sorry to Mr. Ben Napper, right? This I thought was a completely damning look on the recruitment.
Yes.
Look at the bench and you can go, oh, there's depth. The bench did nothing, right? Mate Jurisic, still done fuck all.
No. No. And
I'm going to keep going and then you can tell me off. Still done fuck all. Ante Cianats, not done anything this season. There was 25 million hard-earned Great British pounds sat on the bench against Stoke, right? None of them came on and did a thing.
Yeah, that was strange.
25 million in the Championship.
But why did Manning not bring them on then?
Because he doesn't rate them.
He brought on Jeffrey Schlupp. What's funny about that? Oh, God. Right.
And that is a concern.
Oh, God.
That is a concern because...
I'm not sure I can do this, Jack. I'm not sure I can do this anymore. I think that we spoke about doing this until we're 50.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I will be dead.
This was also brilliant. Chris has tried so hard to be positive and he was trying to back up Mate Jurisic and has then just gone, it's not worth my time. It's not worth my energy.
No.
I'm not winning that
battle. With Mate, right. Look, I know it's been a disappointing start and duration of his Norwich City spell so far, but when he's played this season, a bright spark. Maybe a damning indictment of this Norwich City side, but I actually think he deserves...
Come on.
No, I think he deserves a shot. And especially now, bloody Diallo's injured as well, we haven't got any wingers.
How many assists has Jurisic got this season?
1.
How many assists has Jeffrey Schlupp got this season?
How many has he got?
1. Okay. So we'll leave that one there. McCarm was good.
Yes,
McCarm was good. I've liked the look of Maatson.
But what about Kellen Fisher and Jack Stacey? They had good games, didn't they?
I agree. And like when Stacey's got forward this season, he's created things. Yeah. So we need to see more of that. I agree with Fisher. And like
did well.
Let's flip this to a negative because I'm in one of those moods, right?
I like how you said that in a positive way. Let's flip this to a negative.
Kellen Fisher, great against Stoke.
But he should have started against Wrexham. Yeah, mate, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know. Don't ask me because I don't know.
That was a baffling one. And ultimately lost us the game against Wrexham.
I just can't even believe he didn't come on either. But anyway, let's try.
Fisher was good.
Let's move forward.
Stacey was good. I actually think the defence in general were all pretty good. And
yes,
I think Darling was good again and is expected to a lot. Medic, a few last gasps.
I mean, even Stoke's goal, it was unlucky really, wasn't it? Because yes, we invited them on. Yes, we didn't just sit tight coming out the gates. Well, this
is the thing.
But Big Mad Vlad makes the save and it falls for the Stoke player. It's one of those ones, to use a Liam Manning phrase. I think also their goal also went through like a couple of bodies as well, didn't it? So,
but what that 10 minutes after we come out for the second half,
mate,
we are awful.
I said it at the
What on earth are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Game of Scrabble or something?
I don't know what's being said at half time, but it ain't working. We now need like an early second half strategy. It cannot be the case of, right, lads, let's just go out again and do. And by the way, I'm hypothesising here. I really hope and pray that's not the message. Let's just go out and do the same again, lads. It's going to click. I hope that's not the message. I don't know whether that's the message. So as I say, I'm hypothesising, but I can't believe we're not just going out and just stay organised. Lump it into Rosette. Just for the first, and even I think Liam said it himself. He is saying all of the right things. It's obviously then the action afterwards. But I think he said post-match, like, we're just not. If you get through the first 10 minutes, first 15 minutes of the second half, you probably manage that game out.
Yeah.
But we can't do it, and that's why, again, another reason why I am fearing the very worst for the Derby game.
Do you think the players have bought into Manning?
I think it's. I just think. Yeah, I do. I think though it's taken more time because of the amount of players that we've signed. I think that's the reason why it's taken more time to adapt. I think we had a Johannesov turret planned pre-season, which wasn't exactly ideal, but again, maybe a bit of an excuse there to try and back up Manning. I think the expectations have been kind of mismanaged. Let's pick up the pepper pot, the injury pepper pot. I am obviously so not qualified to talk about this,
but we're going to anyway because that's what we do.
But I just don't understand why we're getting so many injuries.
Well, it's not bad luck. Chris Gordon is a bad luck one, right? Falls awkwardly. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, but the others, I'm thinking, oof. And then Chris Gorham highlighted a stat.
What, our winger?
And I've been pretty strong on backing the recruitment, and I still think we've signed. This is why I think pressure on Liam to a certain degree, because I do think Ben Napper has given Manning the tools. To be honest with you, that's my opinion. But Chris Gorham put a stat in the Canary Call Instagram channel. Injuries do happen, although I noticed Diallo only played 90 minutes once last season for Mets. League 2 is a 34-game season. That's 12 fewer than the Championship. I think that's quite interesting, isn't it, Jack? So, clearly we've, again, signed players that aren't capable of the rough and tumble of the Championship.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, look at the two players who've played consistent EFL football over the last few seasons. Harry Darlington from Makama.
There's something not right. Look, there's a lot. There is a lot of really, really good, really talented, really qualified people behind the scenes at Norwich City. So I want to be clear. I'm not slagging them off. I'm not going it's your fault at all. I'm not. But it is a problem that has occurred again. We can't not talk about it. So injuries are also a problem as to why you would say, have they bought into Manning's football? I think they have as much as they could, but in the circumstances, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to see this. Maybe I'm trying to see the positives.
I think the thing for me before we get on to the Twitter questions, I think there's going to be a lot, so we'll do that.
We need to talk about the Ipswich.
Well, I think we'll get on to that in the Twitter questions. There's quite a few. When I say about this team playing within themselves, I think that comes from a couple of things. Not quite knowing the system and struggling to implement the instructions they've been given, and a nervousness. It's easier not to have the ball if you're nervous. It's easier to let the other team try and do something and just hold position and see what happens. And under Johannes, well, actually up until this point, it was pretty good. And the home wins were coming. We had so much of the ball but didn't do anything with it. And that is also, I think, a nervousness thing because it's easy to pass from side to side. This is the concerning thing under Manning. We've got none of the ball. None of the ball. And
control, I would say.
Control of the ball.
Possession's not that bad.
Control of the ball. Good quality control of the ball.
Yeah.
And if I'm like Josh Sargent at the moment, you've got, it's essentially you've got a Ferrari in the garage and you can't get the door open.
Yeah, I agree. And the football that was spoken about, I wouldn't say sold, but spoken about, was the fact that we were going to win the ball and keep the ball higher up the pitch.
Yes, good point.
And Josh Sargent is being strangled at the moment. And I felt for him at the weekend because he actually had a pretty good chance. Antti Sanats fed him through. It was his only chance, I think, of the second half, I'm pretty sure it was. Sanats threaded him through. And then he kind of just snaps at it. The keeper, I mean, to be fair, Stokes' goalkeeper, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. He is a very good goalkeeper, actually. But I thought, oh God, that was a great chance. But then I instantly said to myself, whoa, hang on, no, Chris. You can't expect Sargent to score both of his 2 chances he's getting a game.
Yeah.
Like, that is an unfair expectation to have of Sarge. So, yeah, no.
The other thing I would say, and actually we kind of knew this pre-season and spoke to Ben Bloom. You'll see the video this week as we lead into the derby, and he's a huge fan of Manning and has watched him at Oxford and MK Dons, blah, blah, blah. It always takes time.
Right.
And like
in every season
it takes time.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear that because
we needed a faster start.
And we wanted a fast start. We've spent money. But that is what I would say. That's all I'm going to say because I don't really want to buy into that either. But everywhere Manning has been, where it's worked, it has taken time. Let's get into some Twitter questions.
First one this week, Jack, is from Liz Howlett.
Hi, Liz.
From the Unthanked Kitchen. Oi, oi. Prediction. We're going to park the bus at Portaloo Road. Is all we can do. Oh my days, how did it end up like this? So the point I want to throw to you here, Jack, is that a good thing? Is that the only thing we can do? Is that what Manning is going to do? Park the bus at Portaloo Road?
Well, I mean, look, I remember sitting here 2 years ago and travelling to a thriving Kieran McKenna, promotion hunting off the back of a promotion Ipswich Town, going, I think this is the first time we're going to lose.
Yeah. We've said that for the first 2 or 3 seasons, haven't we?
And we got away with that. Johnny Rowe scored a brace. Yeah. If you remember, Ashley Barnes was the sole number 9, just like elbowing his way through. And Nathan Broadhead missed, he could have had a hat-trick in the first half an hour. And Gunn was great that day. Like, we kind of clung on. And I said it on the last podcast, like, we got out of that because we had Johnny Rowe. We had a match winner. Yeah. He had that derby swagger. He reminded me so much of James Madison with the way he kind of approached that. We don't have that this time, I think. Maybe we do.
Sargent is the only one maybe that's fit this time.
Yeah, Sargent's our best player and will be the best player in that match. But like someone to really grab a game, maybe he is that. And maybe we'll see a new hero come forwards. I don't know. The fear is if we do go to Portman Road and park the bus, and I don't even think this Manning side is like actively trying to park the bus. I think they want to control games, but they're just incapable of doing it. Yeah, we will lose. Right?
Because it's just it's a matter of when they score.
You cannot go to Portman Road and give up 20 plus shots.
No.
And if they do,
because they've got more quality than a lot of the teams we've come up against so far.
I'd say they're a better side than Stoke, and Cov have been great this season, but I think that was a slight anomaly. Whether it's Ipswich or whether it's whoever it is, it's not sustainable to go away and play in that fashion, right?
So in which case, you're saying we shouldn't park the bus against Ipswich?
Well, I don't think we will try to. Whether we do end up parking the bus is another thing. Like that might just be the way that the game pans out. I am fearful. I think this is, in terms of the last 16 years of unbeaten, I mean, there was that period, wasn't there, when we had Buendia and Pukki. Like, it wasn't even a question if we'd beat them. We just would.
Yeah, of course.
I remember the home game when Pukki scored and Hernandez scored. It was so one-sided, right? It's different now. And look, also, Ipswich haven't had a great start to the season. They're still finding their feet. This is going to be a real challenge. And if we get out of this, unharmed, I don't think it will be through skill.
See, I would... Okay, fine. I would go, like... I think, Liz, our only hope away at Ipswich is to park the bus. I think it's our only hope. I really do. I think that's where we're at, Jack. I really, really do. I hope that we start the game fast, nick a goal, against the run of play inevitably, and I hope we just try and do what we did against Cov and Stoke, and I just hope that we can defend and sit tight, and that's the only thing because they could, should, and would probably beat us, and I just really hope that because I think if we go brave, especially with our lack of width, I'm so concerned about balls over the top. I'm concerned about everything. I'm concerned about Nunes scoring the winner. I just really, look, as I say, I hope the lads listen to this. I hope you react. I hope you know how much this game means to us. But I just think the way we're playing, I'll be very surprised if we get something. I think it's over.
I think if we do go and park the bus, it's going to be a real struggle because derby atmosphere, they'll be bang up for it. The more that Ipswich have the ball and progress into our half, the more that the atmosphere intensifies, it will get to a boiling point where eventually we give in.
I hope, though, that, Jack, like the other thing is we're essentially relying on them bottling it again. And let's be honest, there have been, across those long 16 years, there's been, the majority of the games have been very convincing wins and easily so. But actually, there's been a handful of games where we've gone, oof. I mean, what about the home game where Timmy Closer scored at the death? That was one as well. So look, I think we're going to have to park the bus, and I think we're going to have to rely on Ipswich having an off day.
What I would say to give some faith, I think you do have a core of players that will understand the derby and be up for it. I think you've got good. Kenny. I think you go from back to front. Kovacevic, Darling, Kenny, Topic, Sarge. I think they will be suitable. I don't think this is going to be completely one-sided. Ipswich will be favourites. Ipswich should be expected to win, but Norwich do have a chance.
Okay.
Famous last words.
Jack Field, JField97 says, rant! I've missed having a midfielder who can control the play. Pell Matson looks like he can be that man. We just need to utilise him and play through him rather than skipping the midfield. I mentioned that last week, Jack. Huge game Wednesday. By the way, West Brom for Ipswich, of course. Huge game Wednesday. Needs some momentum going into the big one. On the ball, City. So, let's break that down. Pell Matson.
Yeah, he
was key for our goal away.
From the two games, he was. He kind of orchestrated it, didn't he? From what I've seen in the two games, he's looked good.
Yeah.
I like his attitude. He wants to be here. We need players that want to be here. Of
course, yeah.
So no bad words around Matson at all. And sorry to go on a slight tangent here, but I think he mentioned the West Brom game there. I do get the sense. Like, there's heat on Manning, there's heat on Napper, there's heat on whoever.
All of them. There's heat on everyone.
Is some of that coming from just the pure anxiety of an East Anglian derby on the horizon?
Maybe.
Because we don't, you never want to go into that game and lose it. There's always the thought of humiliation, right? And I just wonder, if we can somehow find a way through these next two, beat West Brom, but fumble a point against Ipswich.
You're saying beat West Brom? Is it mate, we've not won a game at home this season.
I know. I'm just saying, if you can find a way to navigate this week,
of course,
things do look brighter. Things do, because then you go into an international break. You can all breathe. I'm finding myself getting uptight about this. Right?
Well, obviously,
I need to breathe. We need to find a way past West Brom.
Yes.
Go into the Ipswich game with a bit of momentum. Don't lose.
Okay.
And then we'll be fine.
Right, let me fling this at you, Jack Reeve. I am at this point now. I'm actually gonna. Oh God, I can't.
You're about to say something controversial.
No, I know. Do you know what? I can't say that. We really do need to win on Wednesday night against West Brom. But, right. I am.
You're about to drop a howler. I know.
Absolutely shitting myself that Sarge gets injured. And then we've not got anything to hurt Ipswich.
Drop him a karma.
So I'm thinking... maybe it's a question.
What you're about to say...
No, I'm not going to say it, but you know where I'm going. I am very, very concerned that... Anyway, Jack, I hope and pray we get a result on Wednesday night. We need a result. I also am concerned that because so much of that anxiety, pressure, stress, effort, attention is on the East Anglian derby, are they going to perform well against West Brom at home on a Wednesday night? I don't know, Jack.
Well,
are they going to already be thinking, oh, we've got this game on Sunday?
I don't think so. We just need to see a performance at home.
Yeah, I agree.
Not only a result, we need to see a performance. I mean, it's been really shit, all season at home. I mean, Borough was okay, but we kind of threw it away. Millwall was meh, but we lost. Yeah. Southampton that Wrexham was as kind of as bad as I can remember. And the problem is now is the away performances aren't convincing either. Mm-hmm. We do need momentum going into that derby.
Yes.
Look, to flip it the other way,
come on.
Yin and yang. I think if we can navigate this week okay and just get out without losing a limb, we could potentially put something together. If we don't, and we don't put in a performance, we don't win against West Brom, and we lose to Ipswich, I think it could be curtains for Liam Manning.
Wow. You really think that?
I do. I think it could be curtains because the atmosphere is already pretty nasty. You lose the derby, the home form, you've had 5-6 home games.
What if we win against West Brom and the inevitable happens on Sunday?
By the way, I don't want this to happen. I like Manning.
Yes.
And I do think it will take really time, and I think it will click. But you do get to positions in football where it's untenable. And
But is it untenable at that stage, this early on?
I think some will deem it.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Next question, Jack.
This is fun, isn't it?
Come on, next question, Jack.
Ian says...
This is torture.
Here we go. This is good to counteract my point. Ian says, slightly annoyed at all the heat that Manning is getting at the moment.
Okay.
Yes, it's far from ideal on the pitch right now, but the signings just aren't very good.
Oh.
Manning can't turn water into wine. Our shortcomings come in the shape of Ben Napper.
Ooh. Well, I would say to Ian that I think that Liam Manning has taken the majority of the heat so far, rightly or wrongly. I think ultimately he is accountable and responsible for the performances on the pitch. I probably do lean slightly more over to the side of the fence of Napper in terms of the signings that he's made. I do think have been capable enough of providing us with better performances than what we've seen.
I'd agree.
I think we probably could have been a little bit more positive, certainly at home in some of our approaches. I think that now we've had key injuries, of course you've got to adapt things, right? But then to counteract my point there, Ian, Diallo, for example, I still think Diallo is going to be a brilliant player for us, but the stats and the data show that last season he only played one 90-minute game for Metz, injured in the Championship. I would also say part of our challenge as well is that those second season players, if you like, they ain't stepping up this season, and that's pre Liam Manning. So I think that's to back your point up there. I think I really, really do think this is a collective challenge, a collective problem, a collective clusterfuck, if you like, where actually everyone's to blame. Napper, in hindsight, could have maybe signed more of a Harry Darling and Makama type, a homegrown, English league type player, of course, in hindsight. But we all got excited pre-season, I think rightly so. Liam Manning could have been more positive in his approach. Some of his substitutions perhaps could have been a bit more positive, maybe. The players haven't stepped up in many respects. They haven't performed to the levels that we expect as Norwich City supporters. So I think it's a collective problem. So I think actually I'm agreeing with Ian. After all of that, I'm agreeing. I think Liam Manning has probably taken a bit too much heat, but at the same time, the criticism that he's received across the board is probably is to be expected, given the results and performances that we've had to endure.
Yeah, and he's inherited an impatient fan base.
Yeah. Rightly so, by the way.
Absolutely.
Rightly so.
Absolutely. But, Ben Napper's got a tough job. It's his first job in a sporting director role. What I would say with Ben, what he's been excellent at is demanding a price for our players. You know, he's brought in a lot of money for some players that probably weren't worth that money. So he's done that very well. Mm-hmm. But, and I said it earlier, like, if you look at the wastage of spend, like, who of the summer signings have worked so far? Kovacevic, Darling, McCarthy.
And luckily, or thankfully, he's been so good at selling players.
And that has kind of helped.
Correct. We've got a lot of value, and therefore it's almost levelled out the point of I don't know.
It just made me really sad because, you know, money. We know that money is tight, not as tight as it was.
Correct, yeah.
But it's still a very valuable commodity. Yes. And I just looked at that bench at the weekend, and it should be going, oh, brilliant, we've got loads of depth. And it actually made me sad. Jurasec, Sirnats, like
players that haven't stepped up.
That we've spent big money on, Chris.
That haven't stepped up, yeah.
That just like, yeah. I remember Sirnats' former club basically laughing at us, going, we can't believe we've got this much money for him.
Yeah, there was a quote around that, wasn't there?
And look, I mean, I thought Sirnats, and I think Sirnats has been slightly, you know, hurt by the system this season. I think but I don't know. I think there has been a lot of wastage, and there was a question here. We've discussed it a little bit from Barkley Boy. He says, "What metrics indicate a player's readiness for the league? Too many high-priced weak links from overseas currently. Are there no more Fishers, Darlings, McCarmers domestically available?" I don't know. Is the question. There must be.
Do you think, though, Jack, that sort of homegrown approach that we kind of went for and I'll say Brian Gunn, actually, because he was the one that signed those players, the Brian Gunn, Paul Lambert transfer window, is that attainable anymore, given that the market is now so much more expensive for players that are in... But saying that, Jovan McCarmer for £1 million looks like great value. So clearly there are those players out there. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's funny because I think fans have a part to play as well in this, and I'm guilty, right? Was I as excited about the signing of Jovan McCarmer getting signed from Lincoln than I was Papa Amadou Diallo, who had his little unveiling in Paris? No, I wasn't, right? It's kind of the optics have changed a little bit. I think football has evolved. You know, Paul Lambert days, you know, it was over a decade ago.
Of course, yeah.
Has the recruitment been good enough? Probably not.
Dom Spencer, question. Are you worried about the record going into Sunday? Yes. No, not that record. The biggest defeat in an East Anglian derby is 5-0. Is this side in danger of capitulating at Portaloo Road?
No, I don't think they've got that in them. I think you've got enough, as I said earlier, I think you've got enough players in there who can rally a team. And
mate, I cannot believe you've just said that.
What, you think we're going to get pumped more than 5-0?
No, I'm just saying, you saying we're not capable of that.
What, do you want me to sit on the fence? No, I think we're getting a little bit overzealous here about... I don't think we're as bad as some people have made out. Like, are we good?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, are we capable of it? Well, the evidence says yes.
Why? We haven't lost by 5 goals at all this season.
3 to Wrexham.
Yeah, good point.
At home.
Yeah, good point.
At home.
I don't think, and this could well get clipped up, I don't think... Do I think we'll lose? Yes.
Yes.
Do I think we're going to lose by a big margin? No. And Norwich always score at Portman Road. Right.
God, mate,
it's been well over, I think, 12, 13, 14 years, right? We always score at Portman Road. So Q is 6 in Ipswich. No, I think with Kovacevic, with Darling, with McLean, with Topic, I think you've got enough in there to kind of grind something out.
One of the players that we had said would be an underrated one or one to come through this season, I think we both put this in our pre-season predictions, Liam Gibbs.
Yeah.
Tyler Kirk's statement, Liam Gibbs needs to start every game for the rest of the season. He's definitely one of our best players in the squad currently. Tyler, it's hard to disagree with that. There was a lovely... Liam Gibbs is providing energy. He's running. He looks fit.
Second booking.
No, I know.
Second. No. He's providing running.
I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying he is versus everyone else. It's a sad indictment of where we're at. But because, Jack, the squad looks unfit. The team don't look fit. against Wrexham, it looked like a bunch of like dads v lads. They were knackered. Mate, that's what. Anyway, Liam Gibbs.
How far have your standards
No,
dropped?
I'm not saying that's where the standards should be.
Through the floor.
I'm complimenting the fact that Liam Gibbs is doing the bare minimum, right? Liam Gibbs, there was a lovely moment where I think it was Sarge maybe that fed him through. Got a shot on goal against Stoke, and I thought, oh, hello, Liam. Here he is.
Mate, you have completely lost the plot.
I know. I'm ill.
You have just said that Liam Gibbs is one of our best players because he runs and had a shot.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck.
No, I know.
Are we there? Are we at that point?
Yeah, we are.
Wow, that's dark. That's so dark.
Like, I'm sorry to say it, but
Liam Gibbs has been pretty good this season.
Mate, you're asking me for positives. This is what I've got to give
To
you.
be fair, it's not only you, because everyone was raving about Liam Gibbs and Oscar Schwartau in their cameos against Wrexham. Liam Gibbs' performance was basically came on, ran a bit, had a shot straight at the goalkeeper that was fumbled to the feet of John McCarr.
Yeah.
Liam Gibbs
Well worked.
should start against Ipswich.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
100%.
Definitely. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. He made a cracking challenge against them last time as well, didn't he?
100%.
So hopefully he does. Let's see.
This is a good one, and I'm not sure we've ever had a question like this before. Rant with a pinch of rave.
Is this one of the most depressed moments of the podcast?
Oh God, no!
Are we?
Oh no, we've been way lower than this.
Have we?
Oh,
Oh, that's
God,
good. No, I like that.
Yeah,
Go on,
yeah.
that's
We
good.
have,
Okay,
mate,
good. I feel better
we
now.
have been way lower than this.
I feel better now.
Rant with a pinch of rave.
Wow, that's the first time we've ever had one of these.
A little bit of rave in there. Yes, we drew against Stoke. I haven't actually read this, but I just love the opening line.
Okay, right.
Yes, we drew against Stoke, but even if we can turn it around, as all the fans obviously want, are we still a side that will make the playoffs and get battered as we have an isolated number 9? We need to hang on to January and then sign some creative players.
Who put this in the room?
Relic 92.
Relic 92, right? Let me tell you, my friend. Offer me now us getting battered in the playoffs. I would absolutely bite your hand off. I would absolutely bite your hand off. Mate, we don't need to be worrying about getting battered in the playoffs. We don't need to be worrying about that. Like, my friend, like, we ain't there.
Yeah. And would you, if you can get some way to, get to January and still be within touching distance of the playoffs, would you back Napa to make the signings in January?
I don't know. What I would say is I would back Norfolk Holdings and the Atenasios to put money in January. I think they'll need to.
They'll definitely do that.
I think they'll need to.
No, they'll definitely
and I think
do
that's
that.
part of what we were sold with regards to the Hunez Gate situation as well. So, yeah, they're gonna have to sign a lot in January. Will we get it right? I don't know. I have less confidence now, of course, but yeah.
Barry Young.
Just seen your socks, by the way. They are awful.
Oh, thanks, mate. Barry Young. Never lost hope so quickly in a new season. No plan, no idea.
Well, you said to me, Jack, before we started, you were like, Revo, I ain't seeing any patterns of play. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. Well, we're not really, are we?
You've only just figured that out.
Yeah, like we've seen like a little. We saw one great moment against Stoke, but oh no, mate, like seriously, what style of football are we trying to play? Come on, tell me.
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I don't know.
Well, I tell you, the only thing we're trying to do is defend well.
Errol Mundell enthusiast says, and this is awesome.
Come on.
Dimi Anulis and Sanane. Remember him? Sanane.
What is going on?
Are some of the best performing players in Germany right now.
Oh my holy.
Zolis is tearing it up, and Pierre Lemalou is a top quality midfielder.
Told
Are
ya.
we the problem?
I told you about PLM.
Are we the problem?
I told you about PLM. Well, what do you mean? Well, I guess, look, sometimes it's, wrong player, right time, or right player, wrong time, and that has happened at Norwich City way too much. I do think a number of our signings have been mismanaged by the coaches and managers that we've had. Zolis being the main one.
Ugh.
Oh my God, was he mismanaged? I think Dimi Yanulis was one of the most underrated Norwich players in probably the last decade in terms of his his abilities. Again, was playing in a really struggling Norwich City side at the time in the Premier League, getting battered every week. So yeah, I'm not surprised. But then Errol Mundell enthusiast to kind of counteract that. Do you know what? I can't even be asked. I'm not even going to counteract.
Go on.
Go
on.
No, I can't be asked. It's completely pointless. What are we doing? Talking about Dimi Yanulis and Dan El-Sanani? What are we going to start doing now? Talking about Carl Court and David Strahavka and Michael Theoklitos and bloody Gary Doherty. Love him, by the way. Like, why?
What's Kyle Lafferty up to?
Do you know what? There's a lad behind us in the back, right? He always gives it beans. I really respect him for it, right? And he shouted at me. He went, "Reeve, what are you doing? You're not singing." I went, "Have you seen this?" I turned around and went, "Have you seen what we're watching right now?" And he was like, "Come on, Revo, let's sing about old Norwich players." I went, "Mate, I don't want to sing about old Norwich players right now. I want to sit here and breathe. I just need to control my breathing." We were three. I promise you. By the way, that guy, he's top drawer actually. So hello to that guy. I don't know. I can't remember his name. Top guy. But we were three. I think we were 3-1 down to Wrexham. Come on, Revo. Let's sing about old Norwich players. But we were at that point. You know, he was singing about Kyle Lafferty. Yeah. Bloody Anthony McNamee. He looked quick to me. Get Capello on the phone. I mean, holy Moses. Seriously, that's right. Right, we're at the end of the podcast now. And by the way, if you've watched to this point, well done, congratulations. And are you okay? Is my genuine question to you. Hashtag of the week, man like Makama. Hashtag man like Makama is the hashtag of the week. Man like Makama. It's time for a rallying cry.
Well, I would just quickly before that, I love it when you get to this spot, right?
Why?
We're 10
I
games
hate
in.
it.
I push, I prod, and he's really good. You're really good at kind of Mr. Positive.
I want to try.
But I know under there's a bubbling sense of,
discontentment.
And there we have it.
Yeah.
There it was. The moment where you broke. We got there, people.
Dimi Yanulis and Dan El-Sanani sent me.
But I had a similar moment. Yes, on Sunday, right? I was filming a little video, and I had an existential crisis during it. I didn't know what the fix was. Everything was a problem.
Yeah.
And my outcome was we're never getting out of the championship. That was my genuine outcome.
You know the GIF meme, whatever you want to call it, is when that guy walks into the room with the pizza box and everything's on fire. It is currently feeling like it could be about to get to that. Right, rally cry. I doubt any of the players have got to this point in the podcast, but if you have, lads,
maybe they skipped.
Please give it everything. Like this really does mean a lot to us. You have been painfully shy, and we need some fight.
What a brilliant way to get everyone motivated by calling them shit.
Yeah, but good. I kind of want to poke.
Okay.
I was like, no, come on.
Yeah, see a reaction.
Prove us wrong.
Okay.
Let's have a reaction.
Okay, let's
have a big marquee moment in our season. And from a Norwich City fan perspective, say your prayers. This is the time. You know what? I've never been so of faith. I've already started, praying this week. Yeah, and I think it's going to be a long week of prayer.
I think in a week's time. We will have some form of clarity over how the rest of this season plays out. It's either going to be a rallying week where Manning finds something, the players get behind him, couple of good performances, right?
Yeah.
And that could be the Preston Ipswich week that takes us forwards, right? Yeah. Manning and his merry men.
Yeah.
Or we might be sat here in a week going, who's our next manager going to be?
Well, and let me tell the Norwich fans now, right, in advance, we ain't going to be sat here next week because he's
escaping the country.
He's escaping the country. He's going to play golf. So just to let you know in advance, there won't be a podcast next week. It's not because we're hiding. It's because he's playing golf.
I'm just going to say, and I'm not going to name names. I was speaking to someone the other day who is planned for Sunday Norwich fan, plan for Sunday
Yeah.
is to put their phone on aeroplane mode
Yeah.
and go to the zoo. And he said he's going to return in the evening and switch his phone back on.
I'm not sure I'd
He's
switch
going
it
to
back
avoid
on.
all human. He's going to spend the day with lions and tigers.
Yeah. I'd be jumping in with the lions and tigers, maybe.
Big week. Really big week.
Come on, lads. Let's have a bit of fight. Let's have a bit of fight. Let's have a couple of big challenges.
Do you see this turning?
Well, I really, really want it to, and that's the important thing, Jack. It's not. Do I see it
obviously
turning?
we want it to.
I want it to. At the moment, I'm struggling to. Do you know what? A straw to clutch on. I posted this on my ex over the weekend. A straw to clutch on going into the derby is our away record. We are undefeated away from home, and that is a straw to clutch on. So, hang on tight.
Chris, top man. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.